joined by senior insider Adrian Wojnarowski. Woj, what's the latest with Simmons?
Malika, Ben Simmons arrived and departed the Sixers practice facility today without participating in a scheduled on-court workout that he had for the team. Now, the rest of the team was off. There was no practice. Ben Simmons, I'm told several staffers that he had back tightness. He was briefly treated for it. It was something that the Sixers didn't expect would preclude him from getting on the court and working out. So, again, leaves the facility. Sixers play the Nets tomorrow night. There's no definitive status yet for him, but I think it's certainly very unlikely that he's going to play. I think the hope was he could get on the court today, see how he looked, go through a shoot-around tomorrow, but he has yet to go through a full practice with the Sixers. And really this cat-and-mouse game with Ben Simmons in the organization continues after he was suspended 2 days ago for being thrown out of practice by Doc Rivers.
So the thought today is that he may have had an individual workout that didn't end up happening. You talked about this back tightness. So considering that, will any further discipline be involved here?
Well, it remains to be seen. And I think the Sixers, I know, have been talking with Rich Paul, Ben Simmons' agent. They've been talking throughout. They talked today about him coming in. You know, listen, the expectation was he could get on the floor with Sam Cassell, one of the Sixers' assistant coaches. That didn't happen. I'm told Ben Simmons came in, he took his COVID test, he did that brief treatment on his back, and then left the facility. Thank
you so much, Woj. Please don't go too far in case there's more that develops here. Really appreciate it. So to talk a little bit more about this, we're now going to be joined by Vince Carter. I am curious for Vince. Vince, what is your reaction to this latest Ben Simmons news?
I mean, it's just another stone on the wall. I think we all understand it's time to move Ben Simmons, and they're waiting. And Doc has said all of these things. They want him there. They understand that it's going to take time. They brought him in to see if he could play tomorrow night. So at this point, we've heard what Ben Simmons requested this summer, and leading up to the training camp, not showing up, not wanting to play, getting thrown out. All of these things are a distraction. And I was happy to see the Sixers go out and play well, because that just tells everyone that we can play basketball without this distraction, but they don't want this distraction. And they're showing that they can play and win without Ben Simmons. So for the Sixers organization at this point, you want to look for the best possible trade. I know they're reaching for the fence with what they're asking for, but at some point you're going to have to move him, because just imagine Ben Simmons comes back to play. You're putting him in a situation where every game that he plays is a road game. Every game's a road game. And that's a distraction for him, because he's going to get booed, and he's going to get booed loudly.
So you're saying, Vince, the time is now. It's time to move on?
I think it's time to move on.
It's going to be a little bit challenging, as we've heard guys break down, Vince, to find that trade. I really appreciate you taking the time. Don't go anywhere, though, because we have so much more from Vince Carter coming up on the rest of the NBA. So let's recap how we got here. After Simmons missed the start of training camp, he reported on October 11th. However, earlier this week, he was sent home and was suspended for a game after refusing to participate in practice, which led him to skipping today's scheduled workout. So now I am joined by our panel. Today we have Richard Jefferson, Zach Lowe. I'm curious, Richard, describe your instant reaction here.
This is ignorant. This is a waste of everyone's time. This is a waste of Ben's time. This is a waste of the 76ers time. This is a waste of all of our time.
Is your back okay, by the way?
No, my back is 100% fine, but today I can say it's fine. The reason why it's a waste of time is that, look, Ben is in the wrong, but so are the 76ers. And I think it is inappropriate for us to make it seem like the 76ers, okay, let's say that Doc Rivers didn't get up there and say anything negative. It was publicly known that they were trying to trade the guy that was second in defensive player of the year. It was publicly known they were trying to trade him all summer long. And so he's like, okay, if you don't want me here, I don't want to be here either. And so then let's move on. And they're like, well, we didn't like what we got, what we were offered, so come in and play nice. That's not how this works.
Okay.
It doesn't work from an emotional standpoint for a player.
Okay, that makes sense. But now it seems like every move that Simmons makes is breaking news. So, Zach, what does this mean long-term for the league, going big picture?
Well, remember, it started with Simmons and Harden. And what I was told from Simmons' camp is he was okay with that, going to Houston in that situation, that trade. But what it means for the league, Malika, this is the war that people within the league have been waiting for, the war that threatens to rewrite the CBA. A player shows up, with many years left on his contract, doesn't want to be there for reasons that may be justified. Like RJ says, you know what? My back's hurt. I dare you to call me out. I dare you. Are you questioning my integrity as an athlete? Are you questioning that I'm making this up? I dare you to call me out. And he has 4 years left on his contract. This isn't James Harden, and it's not Anthony Davis. This is not a player that every team in the league would trade everything to get. It's not a player with 1 or 2 years left on his contract. And everyone in the league has been waiting for this and waiting to see, will the team have the guts to take the player's money away? Because no team wants to be known as the harsh team that takes the player's money away. But it looks like Philly is going to do that, and then it just becomes, well, where does that go? How does that play out? Nobody knows. And what does it mean for the next CBA? What rule changes could come because of this? It's an unprecedented situation.
And you're an expert on this, Zach. So let's remind folks what is in that CBA right now, generally speaking, what it asks players to do. Because it's not just show up a little bit. It's show up with a reasonable expectation to...
What to play hard, to honor your contract, to be and to what players can be traded at any time, right? And so they would say, well, teams sign us to these contracts and then they trade us willy-nilly, and that's why I've never had a problem with trade requests, because that just evens the balance of power. But there is an obligation written in there. You're getting paid money to play basketball. It's an uncomfortable situation. It's an uncomfortable reality. And I think if this continues to be ugly like this, and a championship contender gets a 0 out of a roster spot that goes to an all-NBA player, I think this is going to result in a lot of hard conversations between the governors and the players union and when that next CBA comes up.
Well, and it's like, well, let's say this. When they say, like, Ben Simmons looks like he didn't want to be there. Is there any intelligent human being on this planet that had watched this entire summer and thought Ben Simmons would show up and want to be there? On top of the fact, let's add this. If you're talking about we need to raise his trade value, the only way that Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid get back to that they are the number 1 seed like they were last year is if he shows up, he's all in, he's locked in, and he's playing well. That's not going to happen. So there's no way to raise his trade value by him being there and playing well, because you have to expend yourself. You have to expend yourself emotionally and physically, and he's not there. So there's no way that he's going to get on that court in 20 games and raise his trade value because he's not there.
I want to bring in Vince Carter, who just beamed in like the Wizard of Oz back here.
Vince, there's I see 2 Vinces over there.
Look at that over there.
Start, bro. Don't start.
Vince, tell me what are your thoughts here? I saw you reacting as Richard was discussing.
Is right on money with that, and just think about it. Now if you're putting him on the floor, you're trusting and hoping that he's gonna play his best basketball for the good of the team. Well, he doesn't want to be on the team. He wants to be somewhere else. He said, "I'll play anywhere else but in Philadelphia." So if you put him on the floor, you're taking that chance of hurting the team, because it's not about the money for him, and it's not about his value. It's about him not wanting to play in Philadelphia.
Huh? Well, it's about the money a tiny bit, because he showed up, right?
I mean,
to kind of try to get there a little bit. Zach?
Semi-related. Damian Lillard this week said, I'm not leaving Portland. And I don't know why he would paint himself in that corner, but he did. He said, I'm not leaving Portland, and that is trade target number 1 for Philadelphia. If that's off the board, this gets even more interesting.
Absolutely. And we had Adam Silver on the show earlier this week, and we had a chance to ask him about how he sees this playing out in the future. And he said, this is the reason that we have contracts. It's an unfortunate situation, but this is what they hope to kind of have and construct and be able to move on from, because as you said, Zach, this is something that we could see shape of the league.
I think the conversations have already started at the ownership level and with Adam Silver, and I think they will continue. The CBA has like a year and a half before they can opt out again. I think there will be agitation for changes. I don't know exactly what they will be, but this is not going away.
Just one thing I'll say this. I understand 100% your point. But one thing that happens is that whatever the owners get, the players also get something else in return.
I'm not saying anyone's right or wrong. I'm just saying that's what's going to happen.
But I'm saying the owners will ask for something, some sort of thing. But then it's like, okay, well, what are you willing to give up to get this somewhat like thing that they're going to? Yeah, it's like, what are you going to give up? So I think that, yes, the owners will always ask for something, but they also have to give up something in return. That's why they end up having stalemates with situations like this.
But I'll tell you this, the minute you utter the word non-guaranteed.
Oh, that's a non-starter.
It's over.
It's non-starter.
That's a blood feud. And by the way, for the players, it absolutely should be.
Yeah, it's a non-starter.
Well, there you go. You know who else we get to talk about in the show today? Because we've talked a whole lot about Ben Simmons. Yeah. We get to talk about Trae Young And Lucas
Basketball.
I'm tired watching that, man. This game had 272 total points. That's the second most ever in a season opener in NBA history. And Evan Fournier became the first Knicks player to score 30 points in his team debut. And Jaylen Brown's 46 points, that was also a record for the most in a Celtics opener. So these guys were clearly exhausted after the game. Just wiped. Tired. But Vince, you might have a little something on them because you once played 63 minutes in a triple overtime game.
God.
Triple overtime. What stands out? What do you remember from that night?
63 minutes. I remember yeah, exactly.
He said, ew.
I remember just what Julius Randle said. I was too tired to eat, and I remember the game kept going on and on and on. And, you guys could attest to this. When you're a player, you feel like you could play forever. Oh yeah, my bad, Doug. You feel like you can play. You feel like you can play forever, but man, I tell you what. Once it got to the second overtime and we're still going, it's like, you got to keep going. And you don't think about this until it's over. You're in the moment. You play, but when it's over, that's when you're like, I didn't realize I played 63 minutes, and I probably never will do that again.
That's every minute of the game. I think. It's every second.
Yeah. So the good news is that Vince, you don't have to do it again. Richard, have you ever been too tired not to eat?
No. I've been too tired to sleep. I've been too tired to sleep.
Absolutely.
That is a real one.
That is a tough spot to be.
Yeah.
But the Knicks, they were a first-round exit last year at the hands of Ice Trae. Got chilly in Madison Square Garden. Do you think, Richard, that the Knicks have taken a step forward?
I think 100%. But let me first address this. This is why you have to ramp yourself up in the preseason. Mm-hmm. This is why you don't take the preseason off. Because the minute that day opens, you can get a 46-minute. And then all of a sudden, if guys' hamstrings are tight because they haven't ramped up, you have to make sure you're taking the preseason seriously. And then I'll say this about the Knicks. I love the addition of Fournier. That was one of the things. They were a great defensive team. Tom Thibodeau, the way they played defense, the way they just rally around that team is great. You needed more offense. Adding Kemba, adding Fournier, that is the more offense that I think they needed. Yeah. So I definitely believe that they can get further than they did last year.
And there was a point in overtime where it was going back and forth, back and forth. He had 6 threes. He caught fire late. But what I loved about this matchup is on both ends, you see guys that each year sort of are like most improved. Julius Randle just got it. But, Jaylen Brown could easily be a most improved candidate each and every year. And so that was from that standing. But my goodness, give Julius Randle, some respect. Everyone was tired, but it takes a special player to be able to grit through in that double overtime and finish those shots that everyone else was missing. So it was a fun one. It was a great start.
It was absolutely fun. And you mentioned Kemba Walker. He was just on the low post, and he said, "I'm looking forward to playing this year because I'm finally healthy." People forget. It was a great interview, a great episode. But Jaylen Brown, he dropped 46 points. That's a Celtics franchise record for a season opener. So Zach, did you ever think we'd see this type of scoring coming from him?
46 is a lot, but you could tell when Jaylen was young that he was going to get some game to him. He was going to become a scorer. To me, the question now is how much of a playmaker can both he and Tatum be, because that's the next step for this team. But he's a flat-out scorer. He could average 25 a game this season, easy.
Absolutely. I'm going to keep it pushing because we have so many players.
More games. I love talking about actual games.
So the last 2 Rookie of the Years, LaMelo Ball and Ja Morant, they showed out last night. I want to take a look at what happened.
I want to see highlights. This has been the first time
we got highlights.
We saw
Morant and the Grizzlies.
I'll take a warm-up.
They were hosting the Cavs, guys, and in the closing seconds of the first quarter, Lowry Markin.
That's some RJ bounce. Okay.
Look at that block.
Bunnies.
Morant with the big left-handed block. So the Grizzlies are up by 12 at the half, guys. So then we go to the third quarter. The Grizzlies are up by 6 in transition. DeAnthony Melton lobs it to Morant. Where he makes his bread, man. Morant elevates with a one-hand alley-oop. He finished with 37.6 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 blocks. That's a complete stat line. The Grizzlies would go on to win it. But there was also another dude who was playing last night. That was LaMelo Ball. And he came wearing
he matched it.
Matching car. Let's get Janae that outfit. They were playing the Pacers.
What about
They trail by 9 in the third. LaMelo hits the 3. I don't know if you could pull it off, Zach. That looked good. And then later in the quarter, Charlotte, they were down by 4. Ball finds Mason Plumlee. Oof, elevates for the alley-oop. That was a nice feed from LaMelo. So now they're in the fourth, up by 2. LaMelo, that was this three that he hits right here.
Range.
That was his 7th three of the game. He finished with 31 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists.
Yes!
Win. Look at what he had to say about
Better
this
than
fit.
Jerry.
Who's your tailor? Because that's a lot of drip right there, young man.
Oh yeah, this you feel me, self-made, LaMelo boy, man. You gotta love wearing your own stuff. I mean, suit, shoes, everything. I love wearing my own stuff, so yeah, blessings.
Blessings. Hey,
exactly.
he likes wearing his own stuff, so we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it for you guys. We're gonna get matching suits that look just like that.
I'm here for it. we could pull it off, Malika.
I think we can. We just saw excellent games from the last 2 Rookie of the Years. Both stars are poised to have great seasons. So Vince, I gotta ask, put your GM hat on, my friend. Put it on your bald head and tell me who you would build a franchise around.
You can't go wrong either way. Wait. This is kind of the lead up. Let me get there. I'm talking myself into something here. So it just depends. Like if you want explosive, you go Ja Morant. If you want a taller point guard that is a facilitator that can score, you go there. So I played with Jason Kidd. So I like taller point guards that you can switch. So I'm gonna go with LaMelo Ball just for that reason.
Okay, all right. So fellow ball brother.
I'm going to say this. It is tight and it is unfair because Ja Morant just had one
wait a
more
minute.
year. Ja Morant's had one more
No,
year.
you can't start like that.
I am saying this. I would go with Ja Morant. I would go with Ja Morant because he's already proven, and he's proven it in multiple years, and he's gotten better every single year. LaMelo, he's going to get there. You asked me at the end of the year that it could be different.
Okay, Tanae.
Zach, shameless plug of his podcast. We talked exactly about this, and he put me on the spot. I do love tall point guards. And I'll never forget the one year that he came when he was in high school to Lonzo's Summer League, and I was standing next to him.
He's tall.
We're both tall.
He's taller than me.
And I was like, my goodness.
Yeah, he's taller than
RJ,
me.
and RJ is taller than me in heels.
Yeah.
So that's saying something. I do like taller point guards. I would sway that way, but I think Ja Morant needs to be respected. He gets better each and every year. He's athletic. He's selfless. So I have no problems with both. That's why I'm a player and not a GM.
So since you were on
didn't give an
the
answer.
low post. No, she told me.
But see,
what
you
I
see
do, though.
exactly. Say it, RJ.
You didn't give an answer. Which one is it?
I already
Give
told
an
you,
answer.
I personally prefer taller point
So
guards.
say
that's
his
fair.
name. Say his name. Say his name. Say his name.
Say his
Say
name.
LaMelo.
There we go. Okay, we got her answer. Zach.
Okay, I know who that is now.
Zach.
I can only assume the producers are trying to hurt me.
They are,
Trying to cause
physically.
pain for me. Because I hate this so much. I love both these players. I love Ja Morant. I
Agreed.
love Ja Morant. Love
Come
Ja
for
Morant.
him.
Are you listening? Ja Morant's agents. I love Ja Morant.
You love.
I'm taking. If I have to take someone, I'm taking height.
Wow.
So I will say the name.
Say it.
Come on, Destiny's Child.
Say his name.
LaMelo Ball.
Hey, okay, Ja. Don't forget, it was me, Ja.
But if
Ja,
LaMelo
forget.
doesn't-
No.
Forget.
I didn't
We
pick.
all agree.
Definitely
Either way, RJ, chill.
Yeah,
Don't do that.
You can't. This is one of those that you can't
Don't
go
do that.
wrong. I'm gonna say that you can't
not true.
go wrong. There's some exciting young
Rooting for
talent
both.
in this league, but I got to give the fit last night.
Yes.
Yeah, he won.
That
He won.
belongs.
Yes.
Won the fit.
That certainly belongs
Yeah.
to LaMelo. And speaking of fits,
To the Dallas Mavericks.
To represent our class. Looking forward to seeing him.
Doncic, three-pointer. Bang! Baby! What a three from Trae Young.
I think at the end of the day, it worked out for both teams.
Luka Doncic and Trae Young will forever be connected after being traded for each other in the 2018 draft. DeAndre Ayton went number 1 to the Suns. He was followed by Marvin Bagley to Sacramento. And then Jaren Jackson Jr. went 4th to Memphis. So for the inside story on that draft day blockbuster, we are now joined again by the stars of Woj and Low, Adrian Wojnarowski and Zach Lowe. That's right, Zach, you're a star. So Adrian, as usual, you broke the news of that trade that night. Can you take us through what happened there, that moment?
Malika, about an hour before the draft, Atlanta, Dallas came to an agreement on that trade. The Mavericks wanted Luka Doncic. They felt they had to get the 3 to take him, and essentially Atlanta wanted another first-round pick. They got a 2019 lottery pick. They at the time projected that pick would probably be 8th in the draft. It turned out to be 10th. And so Travis Schlenk, the GM in Atlanta, and Donnie Nelson, then the GM in Dallas, they consummate the trade, and Travis Schlenk asked Donnie Nelson, okay, who do you want us to select for you at number 3? And he said, Luka Doncic or Marvin Bagley, whichever one is there. And luckily for Dallas, Sacramento took Marvin Bagley second, and Luka Doncic was there, which was the reason they were trading up.
Why we got to do Kings fans like this? just reminding them of this pain. I said at the time, and I say it now, it was a fair trade. The Hawks got clowned for that trade because everyone was so obsessed, and justifiably so, with Luka. But they thought Trae Young's going to be really, really good, and if he's 90% of Luka, 95% of Luka, we get another bite at the apple with that pick next year that turned into Cam Reddish. And as you know, that's sort of emblematic of how the Hawks have really done a great job surrounding Trae Young with great complementary players. I thought it was a fair trade. I think Luka is a better player, will always be a better player, has a chance to be like a top 10 all-time player. But I said at the time, and I say it now, I think it was a fair trade in terms of value.
Hey, listen,
I'd still take Luka, by the way.
And that's fine. You know, Trae Young has a chance to be the greatest player in franchise history, a multi-time All-Star. This is a guy who's probably going to be in some MVP conversations before his career is over. And you mentioned it with Travis Schlenk in Atlanta. The job they've done and how much better of a job they've done than Dallas of surrounding Trae Young with talent. Think of 2 players, Travis Schlenk in his first draft, John Collins at 19 and Kevin Huerter at 19 in that same Trae Young draft. You get a $125 million year, $125 million total contract player in Collins. Kevin Huerter has become a really good player for them. But DeAndre Hunter, the trade for Clint Capella in Atlanta, they have built such a great infrastructure around Trae Young. And Dallas, they have really struggled to put pieces around. They invested a lot in Kristaps Porzingis. And that has yet to pay dividends.
Well, Dallas is still paying the price for years and years of just punting the first round of the draft, trading down, trading out. They've done a great job with second rounders like Jalen Brunson, undrafted free agents. But my hottest, craziest take of the season is that despite all that, Dallas can still make the finals. I wouldn't pick them, but I think with Jamal Murray hurt and Kawhi Leonard hurt, there's a little bit of a power vacuum, and Luka is just that good. Now, I'm not picking them to make finals. I just say there's a pathway there that if the Jason Kidd thing works out, and it's a huge wild card, I just think I think Luka plus shooting plus defense, if Porzingis has a bounce back year, that's a really powerful combination.
Listen, this is an Atlanta team who went to the conference finals last year, and now we're going to get to see this team healthy, together. Those young players a year older. And, you know, we talk about Cam Reddish, who was the player they got in the trade, or essentially the pick at number 10 in 2019. And it's quick. People are quick to write young players off in this league. Let's see Cam Reddish healthy this year and see what they may still have in him. But there is so much young talent in Atlanta, and I think the Hawks are set up really well moving forward.
Absolutely. I got to spend some time in Atlanta for the Eastern Conference Finals last year. That is a team that was so locked in. They weren't satisfied being the riser. They weren't satisfied being the team that just was, oh, we're a fluke who made it. No, Trae Young wanted to push that team to take it to the next level. And he told me, I will not be satisfied until Atlanta wins a championship. And we saw him take a next step. I am so excited to see him play against Luka Doncic. Don't miss that game tonight. They face off in Atlanta at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. It is going to be a game that I will certainly be tuned into. So coming up, the Ardent So Funny Steph. There's 11 games across the association last night, and we have got you covered because we are introducing a new segment, and we're calling it the Top of the Top. So, first up, guys, top of the top is Rookie Bucket. The top Rookie Bucket belongs to Jalen Green. He gets his first NBA points on, check this out.
Let's see.
Houston.
I got this reverse.
I knew we'd get a Houston.
Pretty.
I knew we'd get one Houston.
Think? I'm excited. I still think he's, front runner. It was one game. I think it was 4 for 14 from the field, but I know he's going to have more highlights. That's why I called him the human highlight reel. That's young.
That's different than the human highlighter, and that was LaMelo.
Precisely.
Okay.
I'm still looking at Evan Mobley, Rookie of the Year.
Well, there you go.
Oh, no way.
And then next up, we got to go to the top block before Richard starts talking.
Yes.
This one is courtesy of Aaron Gordon. Now you can take a look.
Oh, bear down. This is what this block does.
Yeah,
look at that. You gotta say it.
Even the bench can't believe it.
I still think grabbing a shot is more impressive than throwing it to the eighth floor.
True.
I still think it's. I think
just
it's
getting it and going.
Still, look at
You know what? I still think the Nuggets would be the best team in the West with Jamal Murray.
Well, that may be very true. Wow.
I think Jamal Murray thinks that
best
too.
team chemistry that belongs to the Chicago Bulls and their new squad debut. They looked good in their win over Detroit. Look at this.
I've always liked the combo. DeRozan. This guy's going to be the most explosive scorer on the roster, but if everyone else can be productive, I'm hyped for them. And they've got a distributor in Lonzo.
Well, this is where it really helps you. The third best defender, perimeter defender on your team is either going to have to guard DeMar DeRozan or Lonzo Ball. That's how those guys eat.
Yes.
Well, then we have to have the top celebration. And how about Wes Unseld? He got his first W on opening night.
Hey, Wes! Junior.
His dad was on the NBA 75 team.
That's right.
Oh, yeah, that is true.
So
That
there
was
we
yesterday,
go.
right?
Look at that.
I had him
Water
as an assistant coach in 2 different places. And when I say this is so deserving, I'm so happy for him. He has put in the time and has worked his tail off.
Well, if that's the group, we do have to do the top duo, and that belongs to Karl Anthony Towns and Anthony
I love it how we get them in
Yes.
early. We get them in early.
First cat with the flush.
First team all
Throw it
the
down.
entire team.
And then you have Ant Edwards.
God.
Yo, I love him.
This
Look at
one,
this.
this one is ugly.
Oh.
Yeah.
How
You got-
defenses are going to have to make that decision all year long, and most people are going to just back up.
Look up here. He can also
Yes,
block.
with him
Also
coming
block.
down.
Let's be honest.
And
We
then
had
look.
about 3 more weeks of talking about the Timberwolves.
6 or 12 from
Stop
three.
it.
About 3
Stop
more.
I think the T-Wolves are
Not with
solid
these
this year.
plays.
Yeah, they are going to be solid, and we got 3
We
more
had to
weeks to
bleep out
talk about
Anthony
it.
Edwards trash talking after a top alley oop. Well, you know who that goes to. It's got to go to John
Ja.
Morant. It's got to go to John Morant.
When you're ducking on the backboard, you know what I'm talking about, Zach. When you're ducking
Yeah, of
on the
course,
backboard,
obviously.
like that is when you look at him.
The phase.
The face. Watch this.
Yo, eyes at the rim almost.
By the way, point guard.
Eyes
Watch
at the
point guard.
rim.
What? That's your
Point guard.
Hey, Russell Westbrook with a jump shot.
That's insane.
That's
That
not a
is-
disrespect. I'm saying, like he's
I mean,
that athletic.
That's
He's got
borderline. That's borderline.
Okay.
Russ is the guy I thought of, though. Point guard catching alley-oops. I thought.
Yeah, that makes sense. That
I'm
makes
not
sense.
being disrespectful, but he's got a little bit better of a jumper. He's not as intense as Russ yet, but he's got that athleticism.
Okay, well, you know who is? He is the guy with his very own cooking show. Album coming out, Serge Ibaka.
We already said what's up, but we can keep
We gotta
it
do it
around the
again.
table.
We gotta do it again. It's so good to see you.
Yeah.
For the camera, because you know your angles.
Yeah,
You always
you
do.
Looking sharp, man. Can I dress like that for the show? No.
Look at it. Look
I
at
can't
this
dress
ring.
that well.
You gotta see this. Let's see the jewelry.
Yeah, it's detailed.
Richard,
I
all
don't
in the
have. I don't
details.
have any of that. I don't
You
have.
have a little. I mean, you got like
I mean,
one
there's nothing
button.
wrong the way you're
He's got
dressing.
like one button out
Thank you,
today.
Serge.
You know?
Like, am I allowed to wear a hat?
No.
No.
No,
No?
I don't know. I don't know if you couldn't have brought an outfit for Richard today.
I got you next time.
Okay.
Just your hand-me-downs. This the 3 seasons ago. Like, oh, I had this 3 seasons, and then I moved it on. I'll
Absolutely.
take that stuff. It'll look fresh on me.
I got
Serge,
you. I got
thank you so much for coming in. I have a very
my pleasure.
It's a serious question though. Do you repeat outfits? Is that something you do?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course, yeah. When
Yeah.
I spend my money, I go to the store and buy clothes. I need to wear them, make sure I enjoy it.
Absolutely.
You know, I don't just want to waste my money, just wear it one time.
They're investments. It's art.
Yeah, it's art. Art is art.
Art is art. But before we dive fully into this piece, this ensemble that you have on,
Okay.
I do want to ask you, the Clippers are opening up their season today. You continue to rehab from your back surgery that ended your season last year. Where does that stand now?
I'm close. I'm close to be back, and I'll be working hard all summer long, and I'll be back soon.
You'll be back
I'm very
soon?
excited. I can't wait.
What's your what point are you at now? What are you able
But
to
now
do?
I'm just getting my conditioning. You know, he used to play. After rehab,
He doesn't know that much about
That
conditioning.
conditioning takes a while.
It take a while. You know, I don't care how much you work, how hard
Yeah.
you work, but playing 5-on-5 games is different.
Yeah.
Facts.
So right now I'm trying to get there.
Well, maybe you can get Richard in on a run because he needs a little.
Yeah,
bit.
come help me, bro. I need somebody out there.
See this? All of a sudden, I'll have.
It's only beach
it'll be
volleyball for
It'll be an
Richard.
Achilles. It'll be something like I got through unscathed, so I just like to watch and observe.
Well, you know what? I got your boy Dante.
Oh, how's that work? Dante will
Yeah,
work. Now,
Dante is
Dante
working,
stays
so
in
he's
shot.
talking
Shout
trash.
out to my guy,
Yeah, Dante.
2016 champion, Dante
Yeah,
Jones.
he talks trash every day.
Every day.
Practice, yeah.
Yes,
He be
yes.
helping me out.
Yeah.
I got West too with us.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
You got a
the guys.
full
You
team.
you got a
that's
roster.
getting you back.
You'll
Yeah.
be ready when it's time for you to be ready.
I'll
And
be
he
ready.
says that time is coming soon. So the Clippers, they were so close to reaching the Western Conference Finals last year, Serge. So what are your expectations for this team this year?
I mean, we have our confidence from last year. You know, we all saw without Kawhi, with all the injuries we had, me and even Marcus, he was 50%, and then Zoo, he was down. And on top of that, we was close to the NBA final.
Yeah.
You know, that show you how good we are. And it's not gonna be easier. It's gonna be a long season, but we believe we can do it.
Yeah, and the West, it continues to be good. It continues to be tough.
Yes,
You
and
guys-
everybody's gonna be healthy, so it's gonna be hard. But like I said again, we have confidence. on us, and we have to work hard.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We can't wait to watch you play, but I don't know about you
Yeah,
guys.
exciting.
I'm equally as excited to see what you walk into the building with, what you pull up to games wearing, because, Serge, you don't do fashion.
Art.
I do art.
I don't do drip or money or fashion. I do arts. So me, it's about arts. That's it.
Oh, you still stand by that, right?
Yes, it's my philosophy of the game.
Yep.
You know, fashion is a game too, like basketball game, and I enjoy doing that. You know, so why not?
There you go.
Okay, do we get a second? Do we get a second?
Well,
Do we get a
it's not
round?
just drip, guys. We're going over to check some out. This
Let's
isn't
go.
just drip.
Let's
this
go.
isn't just art. This isn't just fashion. This is all involved. So come on over with us,
You was
Serge.
ready for me, huh?
I was ready.
We're ready for you.
Ready, you know I was coming.
Yeah, man, I gotta make
I'm
sure.
going to put you right over here, Serge,
Okay.
because we have a new segment that we're introducing with the fashion legend himself, Serge Ibaka. So we're going to take a look at some fashion fits from around the league and see if they would fit on your canvas in our new segment, Heat Check. So first up, Serge, take a look at this. We have LaMelo Ball.
Oh, yes.
What do you think?
love it.
What do you think?
That's fly.
That's why.
Yes.
That's take confidence.
That's, yeah,
It's approved.
Take confidence.
do you
And
have
the
any
matching
outfits
car?
that match your car?
No. That's not my way.
Yeah.
That's his way. It takes confidence to do that. So if he feels good, that's the most important.
And backed it up with the win.
Well,
Yeah.
and
He
that's
got a W.
That's
Yeah.
absolutely important. I'm still, the car, that's a little bit of a lot, but you know how it is.
That's swag. That's swag. I call this swag.
100%.
Okay, that's swag,
Swag.
but that's
Yeah,
not art.
swag. No, that's not art. That's
That's
swag.
not art, that's swag. Okay, so
Yeah.
next up, let's see if this next guy, if he has art. It is the suave Mr. LeBron James, and he's rocking that double-breasted, very men in black look. What do you think of this?
That's easy arts.
That's art. That's art.
Art. Yeah.
Why is that art?
Double breast. You never go wrong with that. That's
Okay.
Exactly. That's art.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
art.
Okay.
Serge, I got one little thing that I've told people for years. If
Yeah.
you see a well-dressed, tall man,
Yeah.
it's taking him twice as long to
Exactly.
be well-dressed because you got to find clothes,
Creative.
shoes, all the
pants.
It
Creative.
takes
Yes.
so much more
Right.
for this ain't off the rack. That
Okay.
ain't off the rack.
So
Yeah.
if that's a tall man and this is art, we've certifiable art, then we need to go to a little bit of a shorter guy. So Spike Lee, he rolled up to Madison Square Garden in this Louis Vuitton suit with the NBA logo all over it.
I like the bag.
Art, fashion?
Art, that's
art. Why,
Art.
why does this
Because
one get the
detail
stamp
of the
of art?
bag. I like the detail of bag. Wear a suit with the NBA logos, but then he put the bag on it.
The bag
That's
brings
art.
it together.
Yeah, but it does. It does bring it all together. I like the little touches
And
of
the hats,
mix.
everything, the glasses, everything.
Tones
I
throughout.
can tell that Serge Ibaka is a big fan of the hat, so we might need to find one that works for you. So we have another one, a fashion-forward player, Russell Westbrook on opening night.
Come on, definitely art.
This is art.
Yes, that's art.
Tell me
Because,
why.
You know, art sometimes is like, you never go to the museum, all right?
Yeah.
You watch something, pictures, and it don't make sense to you.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you ask the prices of the picture, they say it's like 25,000. You say, why this picture is so expensive?
Yeah.
When there's nothing on it, or when it's just little colors.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like Russell stylist. You have to understand that. You have to
Okay.
know art to understand his styles. This
Okay.
is pure art.
Okay.
The scarf accessory is different.
Exactly.
Well,
yeah. The scarf, it changes everything.
We know that Serge appreciates a scarf. So let's take a look at some of our favorite Serge Ibaka fits. Take a look here. Which one's the favorite? Because we're talking about big scarf energy. Of all these, Serge, what do
Are
you
you
think?
asking me?
This
I'm
one.
asking
No,
you.
this one right here. You know why? And I'm gonna be really honest. He talked about the confidence it takes to step out into something.
Okay.
The confidence. And look, that's swagged out, man. That's something that look. You got the matching, the top, the bottom. I gotta give it to him.
I'm here for the Afro vibes, though. The Afro vibes are
See,
different.
Serge and I bonded over this scarf, though,
Yeah.
and OG Anunoby, does he know anything about scarves?
Maybe now. I hope so.
You hope you taught him well.
Learner.
Yeah, I tell him well. I hope so.
But tell me about this one on the end. We haven't touched
That
it.
one is it's something, you know, I call this showtime.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Showtime.
Yeah, it's for the show.
Okay. Well, before we let you go, I need some help. I need some really serious help. I need your advice, Serge.
Okay.
Because what can we do? What can we do
here we go.
about this outfit?
Here we go.
I don't think that there's anything we can do.
Here we
Can we
go.
take a look?
What is
Here we go.
it?
Why do I get nervous?
What
I
is
just-
it?
you
Richard?
know-
I know it's
I
not
have
me.
no
You
idea. That man is swagged out, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the tight
Oh
waistline,
my
the broad
goodness.
shoulders.
You know what?
Crispy. Look at those crispy
I don't think a
lines.
hat could have
The
saved you.
pleats.
You know why? You know the funny thing is, this style you are here is coming back.
Oh, gosh.
Thank you.
Yep.
Hey,
I'm coming back.
I'm getting a voice from God. I'm getting a voice from beyond Vince Carter. Vince Carter.
Oh, Vince,
Carter.
Vince Carter's in the